Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another Longplays, and this is Might and Magic Book 2, Gates to Another World. And you're probably wondering to yourself, James, you played Might and Magic 6 previously, and now you're playing Might and Magic 2. Why not Might and Magic? Well, truth be told, this is one that I grew up with. Might and Magic 2. I didn't play the original until much later. So I'm going to show you just bits and pieces, I guess, about this wonderful little blobber. And first off, it's all keyboard controlled. There's no need for a mouse. And we are going to hit copy player disk. It is recommended that you make backup copies of all your Might and Magic 2 discs before starting gameplay. Disc 1 in 5 1/4 inch and 3.5 inch formats must be copied to a blank disk file by file with the copy command. Copy discs 2 and 3 in the 5.5 inch set using the disk copy command. So this was a different and more honest time, where certain games from the late 80s would just be like, hey, you want to make a copy of this for backup purposes? Yeah, go ahead. Let's hit about, and there is the information that we need. So this was originally for the Apple II, but this is the IBM version we're playing. There was also a Mega Drive / Genesis version for all you console enthusiasts, which apparently was very good. I don't know myself, I've never played it, but I've seen a few clips, and it looks okay. So, without any further ado, the game when you begin asks, right, where is disc 2? And we'll just say C, and we'll start the game. So, Might and Magic Book 2, Gates to Another World. This is your main menu. You have the option to create new characters, view all characters, transfer characters, or go to town. We're going to look at the transfer option, because you can transfer an entire roster of Might and Magic 1 characters into Might and Magic 2. And this would become a feature that would become much more prevalent in games in the years to come. I do believe that there were some other contemporaries that did it, but you could have the same party go through multiple games, and there was a sense of continuity to it that you really appreciated, you know? So, we are going to create a new character. And as you can see, thanks to the lovely little animation, it is all based on die rolls. And you'll also note that there's a series of numbers next to the class. So if we enter to reroll, we will not get the animation again, but we can look at the numbers. And you'll see that it's not a case of a base set of numbers being distributed evenly. It's actually completely at random. So you can sit here and wait for a tremendous roll and be like, hey, that's amazing, I'll use that. Isn't that exciting? And sometimes, as a kid, as a child, kid's very Americanized, but I've got an American audience, so we'll let it slide. I get fun of, or I get made fun of for the whole Americanisms by people. And you can see, especially with one there, it's a particularly poor roll. It's almost like a mini game in itself, like a little sort of gambling game. That'll do. Okay, so we can now swap stats in order to be the character we want to be. So say if we swap might with intelligence, you'll see that the option for classes has changed. You can now be a cleric or a sorcerer, but we're not interested in that. What we're going to do is we're going to swap speed with endurance, personality with speed, and personality with accuracy. Our luck stat's quite low, so we'll do a quick swap with intelligence and C and G. So, our character is not very intelligent, so that's accurate, and has a poor personality, which is also accurate. And they are going to be a big, dumb barbarian. Now you're given the race selection. Choosing a different race will give you different bonuses to skill. So if we say half-orc, for example, certain stats will go up, certain stats will go down. A neutral half-orc barbarian male named Lonnie. There we are. Oh, that's a good roll. Look at that. Shall we use that? I think we'll use that. So we'll swap accuracy with personality. And, I think accuracy with luck this time. And we will have them be a cleric. Now, I don't know the best for cleric. I'm going to go with an elven cleric. A good elven cleric called... What shall we call him? Healy. I don't know how to spell that right. After the Northern Irish striker of the mid-2000s, David Healy, of course. Not because he's going to be doing a lot of healing. Okay, so we've got 2 new characters. And now we go to view all characters. And you'll see that there's a series of pre-made characters already there. Sir Felgar, Terwin III, Shirvala, Jean Eric, Cassandra, and the Hermit. So, we can hit space to view hirelings. Those are people that you can bring along in your party for money. I think it's for a small exchange of gold, but anyway, we are going to go to town. And you'll note that they are in Tundara, and we are in Middlegate. Now, that's interesting, isn't it? That they would start in Tundara. So, we are going to just take those 2. It's Control, G and H. And we'll just take 2 people. Lonnie and Healy. And that's the inn there. We'll not bother with that. The spirit of Korak proclaims, fantastic adventure awaits you, challenging quests abound, and battles innumerable must be fought. Do you have the might to emerge victorious? Only time will tell. And immediately we're out into the world, and I'm just going to briefly exit the city gates. Greetings, I'm your guardian Pegasus. Welcome to the outer world of Kron. Beyond these town walls lie dangers and wonders. Should you discover my name, I will help you once per year. Seek me out in the ice tundra. Thanks. And you'll see there's signs as well. There's signposts to various places. I'm not going to worry about that, because I know off by heart where I'm going. As snow swirls around your party, you catch a glimpse of the Tundaran town gates. Enter. Yes. And we'll go straight to the inn. Because that's where everyone else is for some reason. So, Sir Felgar, join us. Who else do we need? We've got a cleric, so Jean Eric is out. Terwin, I think we shall take. And let's see. Sure, Vala. Sure, why not? And we'll go with Cassandra. And that's our max party of 6. Okay. Now you'll see in the there is a night and day cycle, which is nice. And we'll just head back to Middlegate, I think. You also can't just pass through every tree. I'm actually surprised how much I remember. It's been like 20 years. he says, wandering into a wall. Okay, this is essentially the save system. You go from inn to inn, and that saves your progress. So the question now is, what do we do? Where do we go? Well, there is S.J. Blacksmith. But first, let's have a look at the options. You use the arrow keys to control the character, B to mash doors that are locked, C gives us the controls overlay, and I am going to turn the walk beep on and change the disposition to inconspicuous. That's the difficulty level. Not of the combat, but of the encounters that you have. So if I turned that up to Thrill Seeker, we'd be in trouble. We'd come across all kinds of craziness. I don't know much about the delay, to be honest. Then you can dismiss party members, exchange stuff, and that is the party itself. So what we'll do is we'll exchange 2 with 3 and have Sir Felgar on the front line. And we'll also exchange 5 with 3. So that's Healy and Cassandra at the back now. And then we've got Shurvala and Terwin the Third. We'll do a quick exchange of them as well. 3 and 4. No, that's not what we wanted, James. 2 and 3. And we want to exchange 3 with 4. And there we go. We have our party. We have a nice little walk sound. So, directly ahead of the middle gate in, we have the Gateway Temple. A slim cleric in a cowled robe peers at you and asks in a serene voice, "May I aid you, travellers?" Yes. And this is essentially the temple, and you can cycle through your party and see who needs what. And clearly everybody is in pretty good condition, but you'll also notice, hey, there are spells for sale. And those spells cost money, but we can hit G to gather the gold. D for spell, thank you, please come again. And E. Now there's a spell for 1,000 gold there. We don't have enough. And you can consult the manual to determine what the spells are. I don't have a manual on me, and I don't have an F.A.Q. So that should be interesting. So next step is to either choose to rest, which we'll not do, and we can search as well. But there's nothing here. So we'll go to the blacksmith. The burly blacksmith Svendegard busily shapes a deadly sword in the forge. Do you care to see his work? Sure, Svendegard, why not? And unlike the other Might and Magic game I played, this guy does weapons and armour. So he's a bit of a jack of all trades. So let's have a look at weapons. We've got daggers, hand axes, basic stuff, you know. But we've also got a special selection. And you'll note the +1 next to the weapon there. That means it does 1 extra damage. It's a way of saying, hey, if you have a sickle equipped, the sickle +1 is slightly better. So, there's also miscellaneous items and armour. We'll just have a quick look at those. And you'll also note, as we go through the game helpfully, look at Cassandra there, can compare her to Mr. Barbarian Lonnie here. She can't equip the vast majority of what's being sold there, while Lonnie is like, yep, just give me everything except that ring mail. And then miscellaneous items, useful little bits and pieces, and we're not going to buy any of them because we're stupid. So, where to next? Let's go to here, the Slaughtered Lamb. a low mumble emerges from the middle of the road crowd. Amber, a sultry waitress, asks, "Do you wish to order from our vast menu of drinks?" "Yes." And you'll also note that here we can stock up on food. And we can also listen for rumours. Children at 0:15. And this is a grid-based game, as you probably noticed, so the coordinates are telling you exactly where on the map things are, which is very useful for the F.A.Q that we don't have. You'll also note I hit M for map, and this does have a mapping system, but hey, it's entirely black. What's up with that? Well, the reason is you need a skill in order to access the appropriate bit of the map, and that's cartography. And because we don't have a cartographer, no such luck. Our map will just be black. The poor man's portal. A uniformed brownie stands before a shimmering energy field, offering instantaneous travel to Zanzibar for 10 gold. No thank you. That's fast travel. It offers a way of quickly getting from place to place, obviously. Turkov's training. A page rolls rusty armour in a barrel of sand in order to clean it as burly squires practice fighting with wooden sticks. Care to train? Yes. And that shows us the experience required to level up. You don't automatically level up. And I heard something in the background there. It's always good to get distracted, isn't it? So that's the very basics of Might and Magic. So now we'll go here. The humble wizard Nordon asks, "Will you do me a service?" Yes. Numerous rewards will be yours if you retrieve one of my magical golden goblets, ruthlessly stolen by the dreaded goblins who dwell in the cave below. Cave, you say? Oh. So we head over here. Stairs to cavern. Descend? Yes. Darkness. And let's have a look at the character sheet, shall we? So, we hit 1 for Lonnie, and it's pretty self-explanatory. We can equip stuff, cast things, gather, share, trade, you know, the usual stuff that you can do. So we'll get everyone equipped. Basic materials, and let's see if our sorcerer has an appropriate spell. Combat only. Return to cast. Charges. No. Cassandra, we need you to cast the torch spell. Do you have it? There we are. 1-5. Okay. And now we know. Danger. Beware. Encounter 2 mini Rexes. Let's attack them. So, Cassandra has the way of it, so we will cast 1 and 4, and that's Shurvala. You'll see on the screen there. There's 2 ticks next to Lonnie and Sir Felgar, and that means that the other members of the party have to essentially either use ranged weapons or spells. Shurvala does not have a ranged weapon or a spell, so we will just, you know, block, be defensive. Lonnie will take out the mini Rex because Lonnie's a big old tank. Sir Felgar's useful as well. Turwin, completely useless. Healy, do you have any kind of spell that could I don't know what that did, Healy, but well done. There we are. And it will display this beautiful little screen and a nice little jingle. 83 experience points. Nothing there. So, obviously we don't have cartography, so we're just going to aimlessly... I think we'll run from the fools. Oh, it didn't work. So it's up to us. And you'll see, because there's more of them, we've got Turwin involved. Oh dear. Oof. Look at this. Mr. Fool. Healy, can you do anything? If we hit view and V to view spellbook. So they've got most of the level 1 spells. But the problem, obviously, is that I don't know what the level 1 spells are. Spell failed. This is one of the things about... Oh, you can also hit space to cycle through. If you don't have the manual on you and a good FAQ, you're in trouble with this game. This came from an era where you would have to sort of learn by reading, and that was asked of you, you know? So let's cast another spell. 1/1. We were able to frighten some of the fools into running away. Well done, Healy. We won't get experience from that, but it's turned the tide of the battle. And those fools appear to have run out of the ability to cast sleep. Now, what about 1/2? 1/2 is wake. Well done, Healy. So he's woken up the party, which he should have done earlier, but I didn't know. And this is over, surely. 1/7? Spell failed. I did that before. Right, there we are. We've won our second battle, 150 experience points each. So you'll note Lonnie's not in good shape. 4-on-1? Yes, so that was Healy living up to his name and healing. Now we hit S to search. The party has found a rotting box. So instead of automatically being told, like say in the Bard's Tale or something else, hey, you're given this amount of gold for winning, it tells you you've got this amount of experience and how many sort of battles you've won. Let us just open it. Who will try? Sir Felgar. A roaring inferno engulfs the party. Death strikes. Unfortunately, you were not successful in your last endeavour. To resume adventuring at the inn in which you last stayed, press enter. And that was Middlegate. So, that's my magic 2, essentially. And I've got another 30 minutes. So I'm just going to play and talk about it. And we'll do a quick exchange. Healy, we want Sir Felgar up there. And exchange Turwin with Healy. And then we will exchange Healy with Shurvala. So, the game will sort of reward you for preparing beforehand. Let's go to our options again. Controls, walk beep on, disposition inconspicuous. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to the blacksmith, and I'm going to gather gold for Shurvala. I don't see any a blowpipe and a crossbow. Let's see. Let's get a sling for Shurvala. And can we get you a sling as well, Healy? Cassandra. get you a sling as well. So we'll equip all the items. And you can see, hey, they have 2 weapons equipped now. And we can't equip A because he's the wrong class. So that's me being very clever. I've bought these 2 slings and they can't use them. So I shall trade item 1A. And if for whatever reason they need to use it, trade item with 3A. Remember when we took on those fools and Terwin got involved for the first time, and previously he'd sort of sat there? So we'll go to the end and we'll quickly save, and we'll do that again, I think. So let's head down into the cavern. Cassandra, what is the spell? Is it 1, 2? No. 1, 5? Yes. So, let's lose again, shall we? Danger, beware. Encounter. The monsters surprised you. This is initiative. That means we can't run away. They came out of nowhere. They have the initiative. Cassandra, because these hungry plants are bigger, everybody has the option to attack. So I'm going to use Sure Valor to shoot here. Yes. I'm going to have everyone attack rather than waste all the spell points. Good work, Terwin. So obviously Healy is not, much of a fighter. Neither is Cassandra. But Sure Valor, also with the ability to shoot, she can shoot anybody. So if she wants to shoot the second plant, she can. The fight option also allows us to pick and choose who we're attacking, while attack will automatically attack the first creature. Sir Felgar takes a blow. Hey, Cassandra must have heard me. So we'll do a quick search. Nothing here. I don't know where I'm going. Encounter. 2 giant ogres and a kobold. I think we'll run from that. And once we run, we're back. Oh, muggers. Now, you'll see Cassandra is out of the way, so we'll just... One down, and they didn't even get a chance. No chance. Let's have a look at what these tight-wearing muggers are. A rusty chest. Now, remember what happened last time? The trap sends razor-sharp metal. Oh, look at that. Each share 5 gold. Now, you'll note that our party is not in a good state. So, we'll rest. Rest complete. No encounters. Cassandra, cast that. Was it 1, 5? Yes. The moon phase of Kron lasts 60 days. Thank you for that information. Old misers. We can take them. 1, 4. Down you go. 2 hit points were enough to take it down. So that really wasn't. And you know what? I'm going to leave this one. It's not worth the trap it would spring. Because the old misers themselves win the blackest battles and you're halfway to an audience with Queen Lamanda. That's the thing, the game will chuck hints at you and stuff. Castle Pinehurst keeps a multitude of J26 fluxers at 7/6. And you'd sit there with your sheet of paper, your little notepad, and you'd be like, hey, let's map this out. Let's take all this information in. Locked. Bash. A cloud of noxious gas nearly kills the entire party. And you'll see what I mean. Like, when you're early in the game, this is... this is the reality of these sort of RPGs. You'd start at a really low level, and before training, you were susceptible to everything. Goblins. Let's try and take them out, shall we? 1, 4 on F. Ah, that's good. And you can shoot F. There we are. Oh, Lonnie. What happened there? So that's what you want to do. You want to mitigate as much damage as possible by taking out as many as you can before they get a turn. And you'll see one goblin here is hurt and the other isn't, so I'm just going to fight. Oh, Felgar. Embarrassing. Missed him. And poor old Turwin paid the price there. Lonnie, no, Felgar, come on. Turwin must have been annoyed at that. So we have a rotting box. Let's try and open it. Roaring Inferno, and we're not dead. I don't know what we got there. Oh. So we can remove one. Equip the battle axe. That'd be useful. Give, no, not give. Trade item with 2A. So instead of a small knife, we'll give Felgar... Oh, he already has a weapon. So we have to remove the small knife and equip the large knife. He's been upgraded. So we need Cassandra to cast her usual. 1, 5. Boom. Done. What's over here? I think that's too many for us. And we'll head out. We'll abandon this. We'll be afraid. And we'll go to Turkov's training. Let's see. We don't need that much more experience. So we got out of there in one piece this time. And I'll show you what I did briefly. We'll take a little trip to Tundara. And I'll show you why I would play this game. So we'll quickly set to exit. Go over here. Beware of the snow beast, or you will end up like me. Missing old Hannah, last seen wearing an emerald ring. This room here. We go here, there will be an encounter. And I would used to just farm this encounter because it was never a ridiculous amount of enemies. And it was a good way of building up experience. Oh, poor old Sir Felgar took a hit there. Lonnie is not being very accurate. There we are. 166. And then we just go back. To the inn. And see the exit. And I would just repeat that indefinitely until my characters had leveled up enough. Because I didn't have an F.A.Q at the time. Oh, went the wrong way there, I think. Bubbling fountain stands before you drink from it. I've got turned around. There we are, on the way to Middlegate. So we'll stay within the city walls for now. And let's explore Middlegate a little more. So we know what's down here. That's the wizard in the dungeon. Which you'd think would be the starter dungeon. And you'd be like, well, we'll just take that and see how it goes. Encounter. Giant beetles. They don't look like beetles, do they? I mean, where's Ringo? That was a bad joke. Oh, finally Lonnie starts to really hit. There we are. Lonnie does the job. So is there anything in here? No, it's just an encounter room. Brain detoxification. Sounds legit. Let's have a look. The surgically garbed cerebral detoxification specialist will cleanse a party member of all secondary skills for 100 gold. I think we'll pass on that. But the whole purpose of it is there is a select number of secondary skills in this game that you can, have. And if you have too many skills and you want to learn another, you can have like a reset and reskill the guy. The sages in multi-hued robes congregate in the hall. The Archmage offers you spells for sale. Interested? Why yes, of course we are. Sorry, you must be a member of the guild. So we have to find somebody to help us join the Mage Guild. And I don't think it'll be the Flesh Eaters. They don't seem to... we've been here. Travel Moor. Joan the travel agent will book you on a trip to beautiful Murray's Resort Isle for 5,000 gold. Pay? Absolutely not enough gold. Murray's Isle is, like it suggests, an island. And that's one way of getting there. You can fly and stuff. Arena entrance only. Hey, an arena. That's right. We have arenas. So, sorry, but you must have a ticket to compete in these games. Now, where did we see a ticket? Oh, that's the exit there. Brain detoxification. There we are. If we go over here and we look at miscellaneous items, there's a green ticket. So let's buy ourselves a green ticket and find our way back to the arena. The games master accepts your ticket. Let the battle begin. So you can actually buy tickets, go to the arena and compete as a fighter in order to get money. And it's a bit better than other ways of doing it, because rather than trying to fight with like some random box that can hurt you. Hey, they stole our food. And that's another thing, yeah. They can steal from you. What was that fear spell? Was it 1-7? No, that was the other one. You memorize them after a while, you know. I think we've won this battle. I'm probably speaking too soon. Let's see, 1-3. Done. But what was done? We don't know. So this shouldn't take long. We're losing food though. Those greedy snitches. What else can we cast? 1-5, not in combat. 1-6, no. 1-2-3, 1-3, done. I don't know what that did. Go down. Right. Winner! You receive 200 gold. Sorry, but you have to have a ticket. So you can compete in the arena for money, and it's pretty sweet. So we'll just go back to the inn if we can find it. That's the city gates. So if we go over there, we can get to the inn. And you'll also note, hey, we're still damaged, but we can rest. And you'll see in the description there, we're down to our last food because of those greedy meisters. So, feeding frenzy. And you'll see that we all have 40 food now for a very reasonable price. And that's one of the things about Middlegate. The stuff in there is quite cheap, but the training is a bit different. Because if you do your initial training in Middlegate, you don't receive as many hit points as if you trained in somewhere like Atlantia. Which I think is very unfair, but they rectified that in later games, you know. Terwin putting his sling to good use. There we are. A wooden crate. Open it, Lonnie, open it. Splint mail and plate armor. Hello. That's useful. Let's see. Remove. I have a funny feeling he can't equip plate armor. Let's see. C. Wrong class. Can you equip B? Wrong class. No. The barbarians can only have so much armor. Trade item 2 plate armor. Trade item with 3 splint mail. And now Sir Felgar has, whoops, there we are. You'll see the armor class has gone up on Sir Felgar significantly because he has plate armor now. That means that when people attack him, the damage is mitigated somewhat. Fanciful Feldecarb fountain flows full as fluttering fairies frolic fastidiously. Flick a farthing? Yes. Full! You have no farthing to flick. How disappointing. Speaking of fools, let's take these boys out. Just randomly accosted in the streets. How rude. And they're trying to send us to sleep again. I forget the spell that Healy has. Is it 1-3? Nope. Healy has been utterly useless for the most part, but they'll have him along. Open it. Who will try 4? Well, that woke Shurvala up, didn't it? So we got a long dagger there. It's fine as is. So I'm going to briefly spend a little more time in Middlegate. Edmund's Expeditions. Sir Edmund Hillary will teach you mountaineering for only 2,000 gold. And what that does, it allows you to pass through mountains. For only 20 gold I can enroll you in the local mage guild. Sounds good. So we found the guy to enroll in the mage guild. This is the man we wanted to see. Pay 10 gold to learn this skill. Yes. Who will learn the skill? Our cartographer will be Healy. And you can see he has a secondary skill there of cartography. He has 2 to choose from. And now, if we just wander over here a little bit, let's hit that map. Ta-da! Cartography. So we can get a good look at all Middlegate is. Shouldn't have gone in there. And we shall quickly save at the inn. And what we're going to do now, as you can see, we've developed a bit of a map. Now, there's no writing on the map or anything, but whatever. Okay, we've rested, we're healed, we're ready to go. But where? Let's head out into the great outdoors. And you'll see that that is also being mapped out. Ferry boat crossing, 5 gold one way. No, we'll not go that way. We shall head over here. Revealed before you is the partially collapsed entrance to legendary Korak's Cave. Pass through. Yeah, sure, why not? Cassandra will give us light. And we shall map out. Zombie Sanctuary. The monsters surprised us. Well, that's the end of us. Gotta get those flesh eaters down first. Lonnie, now is not the time to be missing. Wow. And that's the RNG gods for you. So, Healy, what can you cast? Is there a... Yes! Eradicate Undead, 1/7. It's a spell that the priest can cast, and suddenly Healy has become useful. So, always send a priest after the undead, you know? And suddenly the party is sprung to life. Though Terwin and... Oh, Cassandra's gone down. Spell failed. You can only use it once. And unfortunately, that means he can't heal Cassandra. But it looks like we're going to weather this storm. No. What is it? 1, 2, 1, 4 on 6. Healy is absolutely wrecking the place. I'm not sure the skeletons will. Not affected by the fire arrow. So certain monsters will have certain immunities, and you have to figure it out. There was one for me. I used to hate fighting, and they were called Dancing Bones, I think, and they were immune to pretty much all damage. 400 experience. Nice. Let's leave the zombie sanctuary. It's a bad idea. Let there be light. I should have brought some torches, but whatever. What's in here? More monsters. Poltergeists and phantasms. Sure, why not? Let's see if this does anything. Yes, it does. Oh! Terwin took a big shot there. Felgar. Yep, try and take out that phantasm. So eradicate the undead did nothing, despite that being a poltergeist. I'm not entirely sure about the logic of that, but whatever. Those phantasms are hitting us hard. There we are. Now we've just a poltergeist. No, it's 1/4, isn't it? On 3. Terwin gets up and the poltergeist hits him again. Poor Terwin. See, why did I do that? I knew it wasn't affected, but I did it anyway. Lonnie comes to the rescue. 216 experience. Did they have anything? Of course not. And that was just a room. So we're slowly mapping this place out. I'm not entirely sure why. But whatever. It's an adventure. And it's pretty open world, this, actually. You know, you go where you please and you do what you want. Shall we leave? And this is one of the cool things you could do. You could run from the cripples. We could beat them easily. And see, I thought if we ran, it would lead us back to the entrance, but it hasn't. That could be a problem. We could be trapped here. Sarcophagus storage. I'm just going to keep running until I can find the way out. There it is. A sign above the exit reads, "Only way out." Take it? Yes, I think so. So we now have Korak's Cave sort of mapped out. It doesn't show on the map, but whatever. So we've got the option to go to Woodhaven, but let's go here, and a pile of ghouls will probably kill us. Not the best start. Oh, he took 12 damage and 9 damage and he's still standing. Whew. Yes, that's not going well at all. This could be the end of us. So, what I'm going to do is cowardly run away. Fortunately, that means poor old Healy is down on his luck. And if we go to 5, there he is, condition dead. So we need to find our way back to Middlegate using the map, because their temple is the cheapest. And it doesn't matter if you rest, because resting, funnily enough, will not heal death. So Healy, restore condition. He's no longer dead. Let's quickly save at the inn and exit. And you can see the gameplay loop now. And it is surprisingly addictive, you know? I don't know what you guys are thinking. Let's cross this for no reason. Zanzibar and Hillstone. Let's go that way. And then the sign says go to the left. We'll go to the right. And we're way out. Druids only. So we don't want to interrupt that. We'll go this way. These rocks are mountains, by the way. With the skill from Edmund Hillary, we could learn how to do that. And each place is built up into a separate grid, as you can see. Dancing Dead. Nope. If you venture out into areas where you're not supposed to be, like at level 1, the game will just destroy you. Hillstone's a fort. Zanzibar, on the other hand, is a city. And you'll see all cities are more or less the same graphically. Sirocco Portal. A dusty nomad offers transport to Tundara. Yes, we'll take that. Because I wanted to see this. I am Jean-Luc. Energize you to Zanzibar for 10 gold? No. Laporte. You get it? Yeah. It's a Star Trek reference. Right there in the Tundran Arms Inn. So you're probably wondering, hey, why did you do that? Because I want to map this out. We don't want to venture out into the snow. That's a good way to die. And the water in this frozen solid, break it. Okay. Don't know what that did. You find all kinds of random things that aren't necessarily depicted by anything other than text. We've been here. This is where you need a good F.A.Q. Let's go to Turkov's training, shall we? And see if we've leveled up any. So, level 2. 100 gold to train. Ugh. You gained 11 hit points. 9 hit points. And Terwin Shirvala needs more experience. Healy can train. Okay, so you'll see our tank man here, Lonnie, is in much better condition. So now that he's level 2, we'll go down just for the last bit. Descend into the cavern and have another fight with somebody. Poltergeists. James, poltergeists don't get affected by fire. There we are. 166 experience. And funnily enough, the ghosts didn't have anything on them. Venomous snakes. Let's destroy them. Or not. Ouch. There's one down. Who took the hit? Terwin did. Healy, do your job. As you can see, the team is working much better already for having some of them level up. Funnily enough, much like the ghosts, the poltergeists weren't carrying much. F.A.Q trainees, we can take them. It's a very combat-heavy game. Oh my goodness. There we are, finally getting there. Poor old Sir Felgar. He just got healed by Healy, and then he got hit again. And you're seeing in action sort of the spellcaster's job and the archer's job of just whittling away in the background. Ouch, Terwin. Severely hit there. Fortunately, we have Healy here. And Cassandra has run out of magic. And she has the option to use, but she doesn't have anything in her inventory, as you can see, to use. So instead of having her run, because I don't think she'd get any experience, we'll have her block. Sure, Vala can shoot. And we'll just whittle away these F.A.Q trainees. Obviously, you can't tell exactly, like... oh, wrong person. You can't tell exactly the hit points. You can just tell that they're hurt, and sometimes it feels like you're whittling away at God knows what. Rusty chest, open it. And Healy's down. I don't know what we got there. A long sword, a flamberge, and a long dagger. Interesting. 1, 5. The message appears briefly on the floor. The water disc rests at 15-0 within Castle Zabran. Better make a note of that. Except I won't. Nothing down there. And as you can see, our cartographer is alive and well, mapping this out as it happens. More F.A.Q trainees will run from them. And we'll just have a look. And you slowly map everything out. I can't believe it's been 11 days already. What's that up there? Locked. You could have a thief try and pick the lock, but we didn't bring the hermit with us. 2 witches' cats and a pile of beggars. Good company. Yeah, this isn't going to be much of a fight. Down you go. And as you can see, the image is of the first monster. So even though we're fighting a pile of beggars, you still have a picture of a cat. I know, it feels bad fighting cats, but they started it. Sir Felgar lost something there. I think it was gold. A beggar. Fortunately, we can rest and search. If you stay in the same spot, the treasure remains. If you move away from it, it's gone for good. A rushing torrent of pure energy tears through the party. Painful. We need Cassandra to cast that spell again. Should have invested in torches, James. Oh well. Mini Rex. And that's it. That is Might and Magic 2. So, it's fun, it's horribly, horribly dated, and if you fancy checking it out, it's on GOG.com, where it should be an absolute pittance. It's just one of those games from my childhood that I wouldn't say holds up, but compared to some of its contemporaries, there was a lot of quality of life changes that made things just a bit easier and a bit more enjoyable and a bit more colourful. And I really should have had an FAQ and, you know, all the spell details and everything out, but I thought going into it blind would be funny. And if you enjoyed this, I've got a pile of other videos, pile of other long plays, which are much more descriptive than this one, shall we say. Thanks for watching. I'll see you soon.